Josh Cobb scored his first championship century for a couple of years, and Rob Taylor fell just short of his maiden championship ton as these two set up what could be a grandstand finish to the LV County Championship game between Leicestershire and Kent at Grace Road, even though Darren Stevens once again shone against his former county with a 5-wicket haul. Leicestershire began the penultimate day in some trouble on 87 for 3, which had them effectively on 2 for 3, and had Cobb not been dropped in the second over of the day in the gully by Ben Harmison off Stevens, this game may have been very different. Cobb was on 18 at the time, with Greg Smith starting the day on 42, and the latter was soon at his 50, a very important knock from the opener, who'd kept his side in this game after they'd slipped to 35 for 3 in their second innings after conceding a lead of 85 runs on the first innings. Leicestershire now led by 13. Smith didn't add any more runs to his tally, however. In the next over, he lost concentration just for a second and edged Mitch Claydon behind to Sam Billings. So Kent were well on top and may have even been thinking of a win inside 3 days, but Cobb played a captain's innings and one of the very best of his career just when it was so badly needed. Leicestershire have been in a glut for too long now, and they required something to turn things around. Cobb did ride his luck, however. Stevens was denied again as he was put down for the second time in the first half hour of the morning. They were to prove to be very costly mistakes. Cobb has not scored heavily in the 4-day game for some time, but has done well in the shorter formats, with shots such as this one that went for 6. The skipper made it to his 50 off 104 balls and added a crucial 71 runs for the 5th wicket with Niall O'Brien, who'd made 33, when he edged a cut off Charlie Hartley behind with a score on 169 for 5 and the lead standing at 84. More wickets now and Kent would have been home and hosed just about, but instead they were held up for the next 38 overs by Cobb and Taylor, whose partnership altered the complexion of this match completely. Cobb had seen out the morning session in getting to 71, and he was now eyeing up a rare 100. Taylor, who went to the same junior school as his namesake James, has shown many times that he is a very talented all-rounder, but it was this innings, delivered under some pressure, which was the standout performance of his career so far. He enjoys playing his shots, and he played plenty of them here. Back-to-back boundaries off Adam Riley took him quickly to the 5th half-century of his first-class career. This one had occupied only 56 balls, from which he'd struck 11 fours. It was an excellent counter-attack from the 24-year-old, and a perfectly timed one. This was the moment that Cobb had been waiting for since April 2012, the single which took him to just the 3rd 100 of his first-class career in his 128th innings. It had come from 186 balls in 234 minutes, and he'd struck 15 fours and 1 6. It was the innings which had given his side a chance of ending a horrible run of matches without success. That goes back 2 years, in fact, in the Championship, and Cobb was trying to stop the rot, although he was nearly spectacularly caught off his own bowling by Hartley. Kent, for so long bossing this contest, now badly needed a wicket. The second new ball was taken and Taylor attacked it with relish, the partnership between these two now passing 150. Riley was brought back on and Taylor sent him down the ground for a 6. He was now moving towards his first ever Championship 100. Cobb, meanwhile, had his eyes on a career best of 148 made 6 years ago at Lord's, while Taylor went to his Championship best, although not the best of his career, which was his only 100 in the first-class game, made oddly enough against Leicestershire while at Loughborough University. In 38 overs together, these two added 175 runs, taking the lead to 259. Cobb was finally out LBW to Stevens for a match-changing 137. After those drop catches a long time ago, Stevens was chuffed to finally get his man. Taylor went to tee on 86, and this boundary now took him into the 90s for the first time in the Championship. It was time for the nerves to kick in. He got to 98 when he went back instead of forward to a ball from Stevens which kept low. Taylor was bowled just too shy of a deserved ton. The importance of that big partnership between Taylor and Cobb became even more so as Leicestershire lost their last 5 wickets for just 44 runs. After Ben Rain had added 24 with Jiganake, the left-hander was somehow bowled around his legs by Claydon, who then grabbed his 8th wicket of an excellent game for the former Durham man as Nathan Buck nicked him behind. Stevens then bowled Charlie Shrek to back his 4th 5-wicket haul of the season and the 8th of his career. He ended with figures of 5 for 85 as Leicestershire were dismissed for 388. That set Kent a target of 304 to win in a minimum of 113 overs, with 17 of them left on this day. It was set up very nicely, with both sides going into the last innings with realistic hopes of winning. For Kent, a solid start would give them a real chance of victory on the final day, and Daniel Bell-Drummond and Rob Key knocked off 30 of the runs in the first 10 overs. But they also lost their captain Key, who was bang in front to Rain when he missed a whip to leg. Key was out for 16. But his side were able to add another 36 runs in the remaining 7 overs of the evening, with Bell-Drummond moving on to 26 and Harmison racing to 24 off only 19 balls. This one of his 5 boundaries. So Kent ended the day on 66 for 1, which leaves an exciting final day ahead. With 9 wickets still intact, the visitors need 238 more runs to win, and will hope that Leicestershire's lack of success in this competition for so long will play into their hands. Only time will tell.